Please can someone in Hammanskraal take a picture of their journal right now and send it straight to us. So from all of those with OCD who love wrapping their school books at the start of a new year, let's talk about some goal setting with a new year. You want new goals, you want fresh perspectives and ideas. And this morning, our family therapist and registered social worker, Kim Abrams, now joins us to explore the idea of goal setting for parents to start off, and I suppose for our family. Should parents be doing more of that? If so, what are the benefits of setting solid goals? Kim joins us to answer those questions and more. Happy New Year, sister!
New Year.
Welcome to it. Really exciting time. I love a new year because out with the old, in with the new. Let's get rid of the clutter. Let's inspire ourselves.
Start fresh.
Start fresh. I love that. So setting goals, important for us to do, important for our children, important for our families to do. But why is it so important for parents in particular to start the new afresh, as you say?
So, I mean, no pressure or anything, but your child's success pretty much determines around the foundation that you lay and what they observe you doing. So what I like about goal setting is that it allows you to take a step back and actually reflect on your strengths and weaknesses as a parent. So instead of weaknesses, we can rather say areas you need to improve on, because we don't always want to like label things harshly.
Don't go to your partner and say, listen, I've done a list of our strengths and weaknesses here.
Yeah, you don't want to start now ticking off all the worst things, but it's a nice time to reflect and actually look at the areas that you could perhaps be doing better in. So that's one of the beautiful things about goal setting. It allows you to start over.
Defrag a little bit. Just kind of become a bit more concise in the way that you're operating your household. What are some good goals? People who are sitting there thinking to themselves now, but I'm busy enough. What are the kind of goals parents should be setting?
So I often say to parents, because they often say to me, where do I even start as well? And I say, try to look at the areas where you feel like you need to improve on. So these are the areas where you really struggle. Perhaps in the morning you find yourself yelling a lot, or, that's pretty common. Or perhaps you don't feel like you're spending enough time with your child. So I think just from a child's perspective, that is probably one of the most important goals I think every parent should take into account, spending quality time, but time where you are present, where you are actually consciously parenting. So put the phones away, put the TV off, actually do something with your child. It can be something as simple as a game of Uno. I mean, it doesn't have to be a grand activity. So I would encourage all parents to actually think about implementing that in a way where you are totally present.
Get outdoors. I mean, often we put so much pressure on ourselves to kind of make it an educational process. Or what are they getting out of this? They just want you.
Exactly.
They don't need all the frills. But I found getting into a green space calms you both down. It can be really beneficial. What does an unrealistic goal look like? Because not achieving goals, if we're constantly setting them but never actually attaining that can be quite a negative influence.
It can. Unrealistic goals are usually the ones you set far too high expectations on. So some parents put like really strict time scales on, we have to achieve this by this time. And actually, if you're setting goals for your parenting, remember you're organically setting a goal for your child. So this is really about stepping outside of yourself and thinking, if I put this goal down, is it going to be achievable for myself and for my child? Because your child might not be following your time scales. I mean, they never do. They're not supposed to. They are kids. But unrealistic goals aren't always a bad thing. They can sometimes teach us that when we fail things, we can keep trying. So pick yourself up and try again, really. So I don't always think unrealistic goals are like things that you should avoid. I think put a goal on that does seem a bit far-fetched. And actually like a goal ladder and allow yourself to eventually try to reach it as far as possible.
Is it important to include our kids in that process, or do they just mimic our behavior and kind of feed off our vibe? Or can we actually sit them down and say, listen, this is what we want to achieve? Because even at 2, 3 years old, they're conscious of a lot of things.
It's a bit of both, really. So yes, the younger they are, the more they're going to observe, but it is really important to teach this to your child. And by teaching this to your child, it means you're also trying to implement it for yourself.
You hold yourself accountable then.
Yes, because, we often, at the start of the school year, we want our children to do really well, but we need to be realistic as to what they can achieve within themselves as unique individuals. So sit down with your child and actually make it a fun activity. It doesn't have to be something where you're setting a goal and ticking it off the list. You can draw it. They can put pictures down of things that they want. It all depends on your child's age as well. So the younger they are, the more kind of creative you can be in terms of games. And then teenagers prefer to kind of talk about things.
You can play games with yourself. You as a couple can start your own Pinterest board if if you want to inspire yourself with some new goals. Kim's going to stick around. We're going to delve into helping our children set goals for themselves and how we can achieve those as well.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Having a great catch-up here with our friend in all things parenting, Kim Abrams, who, of course, has been helping us, I think, set some new goals for ourselves, yes, but also broach the idea of inspiring that goal-setting idea within our children so that it become a group effort, something that we can do as families together. So we're going to continue our discussion about goal-setting, what is a great way to achieve those goals that we are setting, but also inspire our children to set goals in their own lives as well. So Kim, thanks so much. I really enjoyed the first half of our conversation. We now shift gears from maybe us as setting goals for ourselves as parents to inspiring our children to set and achieve goals, to go after those goals. How do we start that conversation? How do we get the idea of goal setting across to our children as we start, especially in those younger years?
So it should always be looked at as a fun activity to do with your child. So try not to put yourself
as well.
Yeah, it's actually a nice way to get to know your child. So the nicest way to kind of start that conversation with your child is, what do you kind of want to do when you're all grown up?
Okay.
You know, and when a child says, oh, whatever they want to do, you can say, okay, well, perhaps in school we need to work really, really hard. So let's think of some things we can do differently at school this year to help you to get to that point of whatever they want to be, let's say. Kids say all sorts of things. But it's a nice way to kind of start the conversation. And a good way to do it with a child is to draw kind of a ladder. So, you know, we call it like a goal ladder.
Okay.
And each step the child takes, they put their goal right at the top of the ladder and let your child choose the goal. Don't choose the goal for your child. Yeah, and then keep monitoring them as they reach the ladder and just celebrate all the successes on the way.
Who leads the process? Because you say that let your child select the goal, but you obviously have a greater understanding, maybe a bird's eye view of their life. So you kind of think to yourself, well, they probably need to spend more social time. They need more friends, or maybe they need to improve. I mean, you get your little report cards, even from preschool. So you've got a kind of clear roadmap of the things that they might need to focus on. Who leads that? Should we let them drive the process, or can you be a little manipulative in how you kind of set those goals aside?
It's a very tricky one. So as a parent, you have to put your ego aside on this one. You do know you're
better at football.
Because you must remember, sometimes we actually want to set goals for our children that we wanted for ourselves as children.
Exactly.
And you need to put that aside. Your child is a unique individual. Yes, you do have to drive the conversation with your child. So it's okay to put little kind of inputs in terms of, oh, what about this, or what about doing a new sport this year, or something like that. But their big goal, their big goal at the top of that ladder should be theirs.
Something they can take ownership of.
Yes.
How do we know that we've overstepped those bounds a little bit and that maybe we are trying to live vicariously through our children a little too much?
They will usually tell you. Yeah, you can usually...
There'll be pushback,
Yeah, they will say to you, I don't want to, I'm not enjoying it, or, you know, and so try to balance the expression of not enjoying something against, are they just giving up because they feel like they can't do it? So,
you know, to rise to a challenge.
Absolutely, because let's face it, they are going to fail at many things in life. We all do, we're meant to, because that's how we learn life lessons and resilience.
Self back up,
Absolutely. So, you know, just be there to support your child and don't just wait for them to get to the big goal. Celebrate the successes along the way and, you know, reward them for it. Some, like, little rewards are always lovely to keep them going and encouraging them.
Yeah, maybe have some dual goals, things that you want to achieve together to instill that idea, that love of rising to a challenge, of achieving something long-term. I think that's the crux here, is having that idea within our children of long-term gratification as opposed to short-term can be something that is very rewarding.
It's a lovely
in the long
lesson
term.
to
Thank you so much. I feel inspired to go and set some new goals for myself and for my little one as well. Help him hopefully set some goals that inspire him as we start a brand new year. Hopefully you feel the same.